I wanted to talk about the power of prayers, irrelative of any religion, although um, we know that in every religion there's a certain way of praying and worshiping. But speaking of praying, a lot of times when we get into problems and everything falls apart, and we no matter how much we try and how much uh, hard work we do, we don't tend to get out of that problem. And what we do is we get so frustrated and disappointed and hopeless that we uh, become so negative instead of praying to the source, to God, or to the universe, whatever you believe in. We tend to be so negative and say, nothing seems to work for me. The God who created me doesn't love me. I'm not gonna believe him anymore. I'm not gonna turn to him anymore because he only brings problems onto my life, my head, um, and I don't seem to figure it out. And he does not help me. He doesn't see me that I'm suffering. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't love me. I don't understand why he created me if he is putting me through so much suffering and problems. But what if we turn that around and think about it positively and have a positive attitude towards it, and instead of uh, feeding the universe with all those negative energies and negative frequency, let's turn that around and make it positive. We could replace those negative thoughts, energies, and emotions into positive and powerful ones, and say, I know that God loves me. He created me. He is watching me. He is protecting me. He is with me at all times, even during problems and sufferings that I am suffering, that he put me. It could be that he wants to get closer to me. And it is. Sometimes when we're suffering so much and we turn to God and asking him for help, praying to God for our own peace, for our problems, and to have a better life, we get closer to God that way. And God loves that. God loves to hear our prayers. God loves to hear that we remember him even in our difficult times, not just our happy times that we cherish. And what I normally say is, God, I don't want to lose hope and faith in you. Despite all the circumstances of my life, I'm still hopeful, and I'm turning to you, and I still have faith in you that you're gonna hold my hand and lift me up from the suffering, and you're gonna turn my suffering into miracles and bless my life with those miracles and inner peace, inner strength, and inner joy. I know it's hard, and even for me it's hard to be that positive and ask God for help and still have faith in him and hope, but it works. It may take time and patience and energy and hope and strength and faith from us, but we can do it, because we as humans, we're really powerful once we get into our inside. If we respond and handle to outside things from within, the key to our every problems is within us. And once we interact with God through prayers from within ourselves, we can tackle any sort of suffering and problems and come out better. Because once you call for God who is always around you, is going to turn your suffering into miracles. And so all you have to do is have faith in Him and hope. Never lose hope, no matter how hard the circumstances are. And I've been through it, I know it, and I've experienced it. I've seen the results, and I know that we as humans, we have that strength. Even when we break into tiny pieces, our strength and hope, but we can still do it. We just need to remember God, and despite all our sufferings, on the side of praying, we gotta show gratitude for everything good that we have in our lives. And that way, God fixes your problems sooner and better, because you're showing gratitude to things that you already have, that God has given you. And in every single little things that we have, God is in it. So just have faith and keep praying to God, even during your good times, for more blessings, more miracles, more grace, mercy, love, peace, joy, and strength. And God is going to keep showering you with all of these blessings. So let's have that prayer bond with God, because God loves to hear from His children. God sees your tears as well. God sees your prayers. God sees your suffering. God has not forgotten you. He is always there. He sees you. He is not blind. Once you have hope and faith in Him, and praying to Him, talking to Him, opening up to Him, and leaving everything to the court of God, God does justice to you. It may take time, but He surely does justice. So keep praying in your own way. It doesn't have to be in a certain way. People have their certain way of praying. So keep praying in your own